You say, "I'm fine," with a smile that doesn't reach your eyes. Someone asks how you're doing, and the words come out automatic, like a reflex. But inside, something's churning. Stress, sadness, exhaustion. Why do so many of us default to this phrase, even when everything feels far from fine? What happens in the brain and body when we hide our true feelings behind these two little words? Tonight, we're unpacking the psychology and physiology of people who always say, "I'm fine," when they're clearly not. It's not weakness, it's a complex survival mechanism wired deep into us. Let's ground this in how emotions actually work in the body. When something hurts emotionally, rejection, failure, overwhelm, your amygdala lights up first, that almond-shaped alarm center in the limbic system. It floods you with stress signals, spiking cortisol through the HPA axis. Heart rate quickens, muscles tense, ready for fight or flight. But in modern life, there's no tiger to run from. The threat is internal or social. Saying, "I'm fine," is your prefrontal cortex stepping in, the rational part, suppressing that raw signal to maintain control. It's emotional regulation on autopilot. Physiologically, this dampens the immediate surge, lowering visible signs like trembling or tears, but it comes at a cost. Bottled cortisol lingers, contributing to chronic inflammation, weakened immunity, even altered gut microbiome from prolonged stress. Meet the emotional guardians. These are the people who say, "I'm fine," not because they feel it, but because vulnerability feels riskier than pain. Their nervous system might lean vagal, strong parasympathetic tone for calm composure, but it's overcompensating. Childhood often plays a role. Environments where emotions were dismissed or punished wire the brain to equate sharing with danger. Mirror neurons learn early that showing distress burdens others, so they guard. Relatable? Think of that time you smiled through a breakup text or powered through a bad day at work. Their body releases endorphins for that forced positivity, a short-term reward. But serotonin dips long-term from unprocessed feelings. They're protecting relationships, but quietly eroding their own resilience. Then there are the overload avoiders. Life's demands stack up, deadlines, family, finances, and their cognitive load maxes out the prefrontal cortex. Admitting "not fine" requires mental space for reflection, vulnerability, follow-up questions they can't handle. Physiologically, chronic overload shrinks hippocampal volume, impairing emotional memory and expression. The default mode network, meant for self-reflection, gets hijacked by rumination loops. Saying, "I'm fine," is energy conservation. It ends the conversation fast, preserving dopamine for survival tasks. These folks aren't lying maliciously, their brain is triaging. If you've ever brushed off concern because "I don't even know where to start," this is your wiring prioritizing function over feeling. Don't overlook the invisible strugglers. For some, "I'm fine" masks deeper battles, anxiety, depression, trauma. The brain's reward pathways, dulled by low dopamine or serotonin, make opening up feel pointless or exhausting. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, flows less freely if past vulnerability led to betrayal. Physiologically, depression alters the insula, the interoception center that reads body signals, so they might not even fully register how not fine they are. Saying it keeps the world at arm's length, avoiding judgment or forced advice. It's a shield. Social comparison spikes during admission, activating pain circuits like physical hurt. Relate if scrolling happy posts ever made your silence feel safer. The perfectionist performers take it further. High achievers often tie worth to competence. Admitting struggle threatens that identity, triggering shame via the anterior cingulate cortex. Their sympathetic system stays revved, always on, so "I'm fine" maintains the facade of control. but adrenaline fatigue builds, leading to burnout crashes. Physiologically, they might have heightened cortisol reactivity, making vulnerability feel like free fall. It's not pride, it's fear of fracturing the self-image they've built. And the empathetic absorbers, those who say, "I'm fine," because others have it worse. Their mirror neuron system is hyperactive, absorbing emotions like sponges. Guilt floods in at the thought of burdening someone. The vagus nerve, key for compassion, overrides self-care. This comparative suffering downplays their pain, but physiologically, invalidated emotions still accumulate, raising allostatic load, the wear from chronic stress adaptation. There's also the culturally conditioned. In many societies, especially for men or certain upbringings, stoicism is rewarded. Testosterone influences emotional suppression. Cultural norms reinforce it via basal ganglia habits. "I'm fine" becomes scripted, bypassing limbic honesty. Zoom out. Why does this pattern persist across so many? Evolutionarily, humans survived in tribes. Showing weakness could mean exclusion. Today, that ancient wiring clashes with a world that preaches "open up." But forcing vulnerability ignores physiology. Not everyone's polyvagal state ladders easily from freeze to social engagement. Some need safety first. Yet here's the nuance. Saying "I'm fine" isn't always bad. Short-term, it regulates overwhelm, prevents emotional flooding via norepinephrine balance. Studies on expressive suppression show mixed effects. It works for acute stress, but harms chronic. The real issue, when it becomes default, unprocessed emotions somaticize, headaches, IBS, autoimmune flares from immune dysregulation. The healthier flip, selective honesty. The brain rewires through neuroplasticity. Small admissions boost BDNF, growth factor from new pathways. Start with safe people. Oxytocin reinforces trust. Physiologically, voicing truth activates the ventromedial prefrontal cortex, integrating emotion with reason for authentic calm. So which one echoes for you? The guardian shielding others, the avoider conserving energy, the struggler hiding depth, the performer upholding image, the absorber minimizing self, or the conditioned stoic? Whisper it in the comments. It's a start. Naming it rewires. In the noise of "be vulnerable" mandates, remember, everyone processes at their pace. Some heal loudly, others quietly. "I'm fine" can be a bridge or a wall. Context decides. But understanding the physiology behind it, that's empowerment. Your body isn't betraying you, it's adapting brilliantly to a complicated world. If this uncovered something hidden, subscribe. We reveal the unseen layers weekly. Like if it resonated, shares truth further. Join the Discord for honest talks. No "I'm fine" required.